up for a new episode of a series called Make It Sweet. Today we will be making pumpkin spice truffles. Super easy recipe with a little bit of pumpkin and white chocolate and graham crackers. Thanks for joining me today. Hi Dora, Mary, Charles. Hi Rosa, Marilyn. So guys, we will cheesecakes, pumpkins. I don't think there is anything better than that. But for sure, the one that we are going to make today is fantastic. Next Sunday, on October 3rd, we will be making old-fashioned apple crisp. It's apple season, it's pumpkin season, so we will be making a lot of pumpkin and a few apple recipes in the upcoming month. So stay tuned. Make sure you sign up. Who else is here? And let me check. Juliet, Ritu, Paula, Mayor, Marilyn, and guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are a lot of upcoming workshops. In particular is Patricia, but also Ronald, Barbara, Lynn, Katie, Laura, Sandra, and Ricky. All right. So thank you so much, guys. There is also a mini book available with 4 recipes dedicated to Thanksgiving, all pumpkin. Stir this one a little bit. I don't want to burn this to burn. So what else do we need? Hi, Sandra and Barbara. Hi Paula. Hi, Mari. Okay, so we need cream cheese, sugar, a little bit of pumpkin. Very important is to have this spice because we are not using a lot of pumpkin here. So what we need, what is going to give a lot of flavor is going to be pumpkin spice flavor, basically. So if you have it, fine. Otherwise, you can make your own one, mixing together a little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and what else? Something that I can't remember now. I'll see if I can post the actual mix of all those ingredients. But if you guys know what are the ingredients to mix, I can't remember the 4th ingredient right now. Cloves. Yes, that is the 4th one. So if you guys have your favorite recipe, your own recipe, I'm sure that in North America here, there are a lot of people that make their own mix. So you are welcome to post it and write it down in the comment section below. Hi, Patrice. So then we need chocolate chips, white chocolate chips. Why I use white chocolate chips today, because you guys know I'm not a fan of it unless we make cookies, is because we need something that holds the shape. Otherwise those truffles are going to be too soft. And as I say every time, white chocolate chips have an agent that is meant to hold the shape. So it's not going to melt completely. This is why I don't use this kind of chocolate, this recipe. All right. And then we also need cinnamon. So I think we have all the ingredients. And then of course we need some chocolate wafers or candy melts. Is suggested for you guys because many of you don't know how to temper chocolate. If you are comfortable with tempering chocolate, you are more than welcome to do so. But candy melts or chocolate wafers are absolutely perfect for this recipe. All right, so let's get started, guys. Here I have, hopefully today nothing is gonna fall. Let's see what is gonna happen today, okay? First of all, let's see if we can make it in 30 minutes. And second, but yeah, and hopefully everything is going to be fine and no hiccups for this workshop today. All right, guys, so if you are ready, thumbs up and hi again, everyone who just joined. Hi, Darcy. Hi, Juliet, Marilyn, Rilu, Paula again. Okay, guys, we are ready. The recipe is in the description box below. Don't forget. And if you can't, if you miss, the first part of the live, you can rewatch the video right after. Let's get started. So first of all, we need cream cheese. And I'm going to use a hand handler mixer, but you can use a whisk. I don't suggest you do so. There is a little bit of work. So a mixer, KitchenAid, if you have a pretty big amount, or just use a hand mixer. So here I have cream cheese and sugar, granulated sugar. Make sure that sometime. To mix those ingredients together. Let's add some pumpkin puree. Make sure, guys, you don't buy the pumpkin pie filling, because that's what happened to me one time, because that has already all the flavor and some sugar in it, and your recipe will be, and whatever you're making is going to be overly sweet and too spicy. So make sure that it's just pumpkin puree. You gotta mix. And the white chocolate. I like to keep the white chocolate not completely and fully melted. So I still have some little pieces of chocolate chips so that you have something to bite and crunchy inside your truffles. All right, this is also done. Give it another mix. Excellent. Now we are going to combine our spice with the dry ingredient, which is cookie crumbs. I'm using here graham crackers. This is the consistency. You can get some cookies and you can blend it in a mixer. Make sure that you use pulse, otherwise it will become a paste. So this is the consistency, and to this crumbs we are going to add our pumpkin pie spice. How are we doing here? Who is going to sign up for next week workshop? We will be making old-fashioned apple crisp. Apple crisp for me is one of my favorite North American recipes. When I moved to Canada the first time, I didn't know what was popular here. I love sweets, but I didn't know what was actually popular here. And my roommate at that time, she made apple crisp. It was absolutely delicious. It has some granola, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I love cinnamon and apples. And then Canada, and today is still my favorite, even more than apple pie. So I just love it, love it. There's a lot of butter in it. It's buttery, it's crispy. It has a lot of flavor. It's something that I absolutely adore. So next week, old-fashioned apple crisp, make sure you sign up. I just added cinnamon to my cookie crumbs. Cloves and sometimes ginger. Someone is asking if there is a substitute for pumpkin pie spice. It's going to change the flavor. So you will end up, because as you can see, guys, we are not using a lot of pumpkin here. So what is going to give the actual flavor, the spicy flavor typical of everything pumpkin or pumpkin treats are, is the pumpkin spice. So, but as I said, you can make your, have to be very, very, very careful. In the mix, usually for every recipe, you need less than 1/8 of a teaspoon because it's so strong. Okay guys, now here we have our mixture. Beautiful mixture. Just scrape the bowl because you want to make sure that all the ingredients are nicely combined. There are no eggs here, so for people that don't like eggs in the recipe or in their recipes, no eggs. And this is super easy to make. As you can see, this is ready. Now all we need is a baking sheet. Let me clean up a little bit here. So we need a baking sheet, a spoon. You can use just a spoon. This for me is just easier. You guys know that I like to work pretty clean. So I like to use a spoon. And now let me see who else is here. You're more than welcome to wait for me until the end, and I will be happy to answer to all of your questions. So, do we have any questions at all? Linda, how do I order the other recipes I didn't get? So there is, for the next workshops, the recipes are free unless you want the recipe with the instructions. So there are links in the box, in the description box below. You can click on it and those links will take you where you can register and you will be receiving by email the recipe. If what you are talking about is the recipe is the mini book, everything, pumpkin spice everything with the 4 recipes for Thanksgiving. There are donuts, there are cheesecake no bake, there are blondies, cream cheese deliciousness. So yes, there is also a link there. It's called Pumpkin Spice Everything Mini Book, and will take you also where you can purchase that, and then you will be receiving the mini book by within 24 hours in PDF. All right, so guys, here we have now our mixture, and you just spoon your mixture on a piece of parchment paper. So what I do in this case, I'm not gonna roll it right away because it's a little bit soft. You can do it, it's up to you, but your hands are warm anyway. So I usually put it on a piece of paper and then I roll it. I place this mixture in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. I will say an hour, usually is enough. And then I take them out and I roll it. So it's very, as you can see guys, it's very easy to make. I'm not gonna make all of this. All right, but the chocolate is going to crack. So the chocolate firms up very easily and fast, but it's going to crack. Probably fine, but let's call it truffles, to be too cold. This is also a little tip that I can give you when you make cake pops actually. So if you make cake pops, they have to have a lot of butter in order to set. And same thing, you want to keep them outside for about 10-15 minutes, not too long, otherwise they're going to melt because usually the chocolate is warm. But I will say a good 10 minutes so that they don't get too, so that the chocolate don't crack because there is too much of, the bowls are too cold and the chocolate is going to be, let's see if I can use another one here. Yeah, this one. And the chocolate is going to be too warm, so too much of a difference in temperature is going to crack your coating. So it's still going to be delicious and all good, but you know, it's not going to look that nice. So I like to make sure that it's the right, that it's not too that the chocolate is not too hot and those truffles or little balls are not too warm. So what I'm doing here, guys, I am melting my chocolate. Let me tell you a little bit about the chocolate that we are using. So I'm using chocolate wafers or candy melts. Is the same thing. The difference between candy melts and chocolate wafers is that they don't have cocoa, so there is no reason to temper them. Obviously, it's like it has some, the fat part is not cocoa, is oil, vegetable base, so it's not an actual chocolate. I also have to say that, but it tastes like. So for the dipping, and unless you are very comfortable with tempering chocolate, I like to use candy melts. It's going to be very easy for you guys. It's not going to drive you crazy, and you will be more than happy with the result. Now, one advice: sometimes you buy chocolate melt and they are like, you know, you have them for a couple of months, 2-3 months, and what happens is that it doesn't melt, not melted much. I can go ahead for another 30 seconds. So, and then until it's completely melted and soft. So as you can see, the time that we melt the chocolate, 10 minutes. And I'll place this one here. Always check, always keep an eye on it, especially again if you are using glass. Yeah, so this one as well will need a little bit of fat, oil, coconut oil, shortening, or vegetable oil. And you will see how it changes the consistency. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So don't think that this is not okay. They are just a little bit old, let's put it this way, but if you go with the good quality, usually it doesn't happen, but so it's very dense, okay? So this is not the consistency that you want. You add a little bit of coconut here. I'll say half of a teaspoon, and then you mix it together, and if you need a little bit more, because now I can see that this is soft enough, is in the description box below, because everything is sent automatically. So you can find the recipe in the description box below. For the future workshop and for future recipes, you can totally sign up and you will receive them by email in your inbox. So it's getting more, it's reaching the better consistency. Now I can feel that it's a little bit cold, so I can put it back for another 15 minutes. At this point, you have to be very careful, otherwise you're gonna burn it. Patrice, I'd rather use real chocolate. What kind will you use instead of the wafers? I will say Calbo is one of my favorite. You can find it online. It's one of my favorite. It's quite a professional chocolate. And you can go with Ivory. Calbo is spelled, I guess, Callebeaut. But you can find it if you search for. So just to confirm, Paula, you melted the white chocolate at the beginning and added to the mixture. Yes. So there is one part, there is a chocolate, white chocolate, and I'm using white chocolate chips that goes into the recipe, into the mixture, pumpkin mixture. And now here I have different kind of chocolate, which is melted candy melts, or chocolate wafers, which is good for dipping, that I am melting right now. This is still quite dense. I'm gonna try and add a little bit more because I don't like this consistency. It should be a little bit more soft. And I'm gonna put it back in the microwave. That's getting better. Okay, so here I have my pumpkin balls, and I have my dark chocolate here. My white chocolate is almost ready. And I'm going to melt a little bit of pumpkin for a little bit of drizzling. So when you see this, don't panic. It happens to me several times. Just watch the temperature. And my suggestions, of course, is always to go. So first, I buy my wafers at Bulk Bar. I don't know about you guys in the States or everywhere else. And I find that Merkins is the best, indeed, the best brand. So this doesn't happen. If there is no Merkins available, this is exactly what happened to me. This is the way you can fix it, you can adjust it. My second suggestion, so just try to go with a good brand, or Wilton as well. Usually this doesn't happen with Wilton candy melts also. So second one is, if this happened, don't give up, don't panic, just add, so. And here now I have, we can add a little bit of white chocolate. Just grab 1 fork and a spatula or chocolate, and then you tap, 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 tap. You have to get rid of the excess by tapping a little bit. Clean your fork, and then you place it, you put it in here, and then you place it on the parchment paper. Nice and clean, nothing is going to get messy. And it's going to be super easy and simple. Don't keep the bowl in the chocolate too much because it's going to melt. Tap, 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 tap again, and clean up your fork very well so that you are not going to have a feet at the bottom of your truffle. Now, I'm decorating those with some just give me a second, guys, because I'll be right back before anything else falls here. I'm going to grab something and be right back. So what I'm going to use here are my cookie crumbs. It's going to set, and your cookie crumbs is not going to stick on it. The first one, in fact, is already set. One more time, tap, 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 here. Tilt your fork a little bit. There you go. So you have everything nice and clean. And once again, cookie crumbs, graham crackers on top, so it's going to stick on it. Because here it will not. But this is okay because we are going to do some drizzling here. So this is what you do with your dark chocolate. And this is exactly what you do with your white chocolate.